Hi, my name is Dani Gill. I'm a writer and curator from Longford, and I'm really happy to be part of Longford Reads this month as part of Ireland Reads. Longford has always been at the start of my reading journey, I guess. I joined the library when I was 5 in Edgeworthstown, the Edgeworthstown branch, and I don't think I would be a writer or indeed a curator if I had not been a reader first. And it was always something that was said to me by other writers that to really write well, you need to read. And it's so true. And I think that reading, especially now, I guess, when a lot of us are at home, it's a chance to be transported somewhere and it's a chance to travel. And for me, I think books, especially in the beginning, were a sense of magic, a sense of places, of other landscapes, of learning. And that is the magic of reading. And I was really lucky to be introduced to that at a young age. I was thinking today, what were the first books that I would have read in that library? And there were books about giants. I remember that, a few books about giants. I'm not really sure why, um, but I remember getting them, and I lived up the road at the time from the library, literally a minute's walk, and being so delighted with these books about giants. And throughout my childhood, I guess that particular librarian was a very important part of my life. And I say my life generally because she really knew me and she got to know me and she saw me grow up. And every time I went to the library, it was a very personal experience of her recommending things she thought I would like. She knew what I had read. And as I got older, she would recommend titles from the adult section that would be suitable for me because I made quick work of the shelves in the library. It was a small 2-room space, and I visited a couple of times now in the last few years, and it's kind of mad to go back to that space. I know they're building a new library in Edgeworthstown, and I'm really delighted because I just think it's such an important space in our community, and librarians do such good work promoting writers and promoting reading and why read and what the value of it is. And I think there's a book for everyone, regardless of what your interest is. And good librarians will be able to talk to you and recommend something. So I really think that the library service and what it offers are very special. And I think it's definitely not something we should take for granted. I gave my first talk in a library when I was 8, and it was about, I had to pick a book that I liked and talk about it. And so the library space and the reading space also gave me, I think, confidence to talk about something that I liked. When you're younger, you think nothing of hopping up on a piece of steel deck and, talking about whatever the thing is. I think when we become adults, and it's harder, and a lot of people are afraid of that. But I think that reading also gave me a sense of confidence because it was an area that made me feel secure and made me feel comfortable. And I kind of felt very much in my happy place, I guess, with books and with the space that was lent to me through books. So I had that experience in the library at a young age and connected with reading. And I suppose all these years later, doing a lot of that kind of thing, being on stage or introducing someone or talking to someone, I always kind of remember that being 8 and doing it. And we underestimate sometimes the value of those experiences. I was thinking about other kind of book related experiences related to Longford, and I was just thinking about, when we were teenagers, we used to queue in Tesco in the shopping centre for the Harry Potter books. I remember being there as a teenager at midnight waiting for the books to be released with a few of my friends who were really into Harry Potter. And I'm sure anyone watching this from Longford knows well the shopping centre. And yeah, there was a line of people, and it was great to just see people so interested in a story. And I suppose I know Harry Potter had a cult following, but it was really exciting. In my adult life last summer, I was researching lighthouses, and the local library, Westside Library, were brilliant. They went through the shelves and pulled a few books for me, and I read them, and they actually really became integral research for something that I was doing. And, you know, it just reminded me that even in that sense, as a resource, we really learn a lot from reading, and books still hold, you know, we have the internet, but books still hold a lot of information that's quite specific, and a lot of history, and a lot of kind of, you know, facts and geography and all of that kind of stuff. So I would borrow things still from the library, and I used BorrowBox, and I found them to be really valuable services. So I would just, as a writer and as myself, like to thank Mary Carton Reynolds and the current librarians in Longford, and anyone who has been, you know, promoting reading in communities. It's really important, and I'm grateful for it. I'm going to read a few poems. I was asked to read a couple of poems as part of this, so I'm just going to read two different poems. One is a poem that was recently included in this anthology, Days of Clear Light, with Salmon Poetry, and it's dedicated to Jessie Lendenny, who is the founder and publisher of Salmon. And I have a short poem in this called Crossword. Crossword. I do it to reclaim your words, to gather the anagrams and deliver them back to your hands. I can still use a pen, so I fill up the grid and wait to hear your voice coming from the kitchen, calling the letters, asking for the numbers, deliberating. And I was looking through my first collection. My second collection comes out later this year, but this is my first collection, After Love. And I thought I might read In the Year of the Sheepgoat, which is kind of a long poem. I guess we just celebrated the Chinese New Year recently, and we are now in the Year of the Ox, and kind of interested in the Chinese version of the zodiac and their calendar, and you know, they basically associate an animal with every year. And in the year that I was writing After Love, it was the year of the sheep-goat, and they would say the energy of that year of sheep-goat is meant to be quite peaceful, and I definitely wasn't finding it to be that. It was a year of a lot of change and a lot of things happening. And I guess I thought this might be a good poem to read now, because we are clearly in, you know, strange times. And I think it's important to remember sometimes that whatever is happening now, but it won't always happen, and it will change, and it has to change. And even when sometimes we can feel like things are a bit stuck, they're not often as static as we might imagine. So this is called In the Year of the Sheepgoat. In the year of the sheepgoat, a friend loses a child, then gives me a red rose. In the year of the sheepgoat, I meet a metal sheep, and she is not kind. In the year of the sheepgoat, conflicts do not cease, they evade and cloak their activities. In the year of the sheepgoat, we crash through waves, find sand, paddle in. In the year of the sheepgoat, situations become clear, and then everything darkens. In the year of the sheepgoat, one friend leaves and another returns for good. In the year of the sheepgoat, the horse is subdued and the monkey awaits its turn. In the year of the sheepgoat, there is loss and distrust, and then continuance. In the year of the sheepgoat, there are ideas, evolutions, and breakthroughs. In the year of the sheepgoat, some feel less afraid and others grow insecure. In the year of the sheepgoat, there are crystals and candles and new deities. In the year of the sheepgoat, skin is broken, muscle repairs, fascia stretches. In the year of the sheepgoat, we tire of reading signs, we stop clocks and throw out calendars, turn inward for our answers. I hope you enjoy reading some good books this month, and thank you for asking me to be part of this program. very proud to be in it with other great Longford writers. So I hope you enjoy your time reading, and thank you again to the library service.